Good morning. This is Ann Diener, and I own our planet. And unfortunately, most people did not know me and my 23 years of hard work protecting American citizens being stolen from in the background. And as the market surged today, we're looking at Dick Cheney. That's the way he set it up. And it was known already from evidence and data that has been previously collected, and that is what Donald Trump is deposed for. He's deposed for financial crimes relating to September 11th. Basically, these individuals are still operating in the background. There has been, and one thing, it was interesting, I want to bring forward regarding the deposal process. They had to prove that I own our planet as part of the deposal process. And that was criminal. It wasn't criminal on their behalf. Basically, they thought it was unlikely for America to be harvested. And Donald Trump this morning, from my understanding, because I stay really closely in contact with him to understand his movements, he thought it would be nice, as a stolen election candidate, to steal your stuff through harvesting with his friend. That can be added to the depositions. And it was funny because back then they gave them technically a hold harmless on harvesting. That means it was okay for an election candidate, and they did not know that harvesting could actually occur, could steal an election and steal your stuff. That means every American, and we have decimated one of the harvesters as owner of our planet because of my physical work. And yesterday, it was interesting because when I went in the ocean so the computers would not print out wrongful arrests from Orange County. Because from my understanding, the team that's been operating with Dick Cheney has been attempting to wrongfully arrest American people based on their gender and based on their marital status and based on whatever stuff they've planted, because they do have advanced machines to plant drug substances, controlled substances, from my understanding, and that could just be operating in this small area. These individuals have advanced machines that are harmful, and we need to get those shut down. Basically, the stock market, as it is known from the individuals here, they were hoping to get away with stock market crash, and that was admitted before, that with the machines that we could get away with it. Immediately when I posted the gold only world, because we have our gold standard in all of our countries, then they wanted to crank up the stock market so no one would have any standing. So there would be pump and dump stocks, and things would go haywire rather than having stability. To own our planet, you have to be focused on American stability, constitutionalism, government by the people and for the people. That is, we the people. And I became president, and our White House should be occupied by individuals who do not see our homes as their personal home-based business, coordinating it with other star systems. And that's what they've been doing. They've been basically operating their business out of the White House. It was reported as a prostitution cartel laundering drug money, and they've thought your stuff was held hostage by these harvesters, or by a harvester. And now they're going to continue to spray the white chemistry, because they're going to be the only ones that are going to be allowed to see this. I'm going to continue to share it out. It is not right for them to use the harmful chemistries. We keep our gold standard and hopefully deliver our money back. Now that the family business has been outed, they stole election 2016 using cross-check, micro-targeting, and Diebold. And they micro-targeted small candidates with Robert Mercer. Robert Mercer needs to be charged with the nuclear components that they put in the columns back in September 11th. We found 128 buildings that likely contain nuclear components similar to those that were used on September 11th. On September 11th, they wired the buildings, and I'm wondering now, thinking about the stock market and the way it started, what were they hoping to pay back? They make the money somehow. They pull it out of your IRAs, your 401ks. Back when I was in Los Angeles, I asked the FBI field office to pay attention to their 401ks and their earnings statements, because what they do is they extract the money from you and they use it for their pet projects. Was one of their pet projects to harvest you? using a stolen election candidate as a front-runner. There should be no incision. The incision ones are banned. It was interesting because initially the incision ones were actually meant for people like Ann Coulter and all the Republicans that have profited through my work. They would have been incised and hoisted up a ship turned into meat. And then they began their drawing rights scam with promissory notes. And the promissory notes, I'm not sure what they go to, but they were cranking out drawing rights. And those drawing rights were turned in as counterfeit. They were hoping, they said they were hoping that they could make a better world with the drawing rights. We need intrinsic value products. We need intrinsic land-based materials and products to start our economy, to restart our economy from a CRM-based world with these supercomputers that hopefully will not work. And that's what's scary, because when I went in the water yesterday, it was terrible. It was terrible. And I'm not sure what was done in the background. Maybe they said, oh, she can't hold the planet, and she's not presidential material. I became president. A president's first duty is to protect our country. That is the president's first duty, to make sure America is financially sound, to make sure our world is financially sound, so that everyone globally can wake up tomorrow and have a better future. Have a good day, and we'll work towards making those depositions happen here. I did also find out, it was interesting, they had it set up here, and I don't have the ability to put a quote up. It was that the same, it was basically that everyone's unfriendly. And John Brennan knew that, God, I wish I had written it down. I apologize. But finally I found that out, and you can hear the chirpers in the background. That's the listening environment they set up, and they actually charged people for this surveillance coverage rather than talking to me diplomatically, knowing that I'm an American who has stood up for American number one. And it was funny, back then when they did the depositions, they were not aware of all the skills I had and all the foreign policy knowledge I had gained through 23 years or 25 years. Well, it was 23 years really working for Americans to compete strongly against Russia and China. And all the research time I had spent, those were hours and hours and hours spent of my personal time to secure American standing. And unfortunately, back then when I threw things out, they discredited me, and that clause that they included that I could protect our country was only a small little part of it. Throughout Donald Trump's administration, where they've used our White House to steal from the American voter, and taken advantage of my work on the background using the surveillance here, because as of this morning, he was hoping to steal through harvesting, and they have been involved on the personal side with Longines to do such a thing, and they did not win 2016. They did not win the election. Protecting our country should be his first priority, and the American citizens. Our next president has to protect American citizens first, and we do have an election coming. Justin Amash is running. He's a constitutional Republican. Maybe they discredited me. Maybe they said that, oh, she's not capable or worthy of being the president or of running a campaign or even of running for office. I am credible. I have kept track of my data. I've published daily. I send out the best to the best of my ability. It is your presidency. It is each and every American citizen's presidency that I hold today.